Imagine being 23 years of age and eliminating both of your idols in Kevin Durant and LeBron James in consecutive postseason campaigns, eliminating the reigning NBA champions on their home floor that's led by a three-time MVP winner who's having one of the best 5-year stretches in league history on their home floor, while also coming back from a 20-point deficit in that game, and also being one of the best playoff risers in a league filled with former NBA champions, former MVPs, and also names that transcend the game of basketball as a whole. Well, for many, that would be a dream, but for Anthony Edwards, that's a reality. From once being a player scouts claimed didn't have a high motor out of Georgia, and was being called into question for eating Popeyes and ordering McDonald's during a post-game interview.
I prefer these over any chips in the world. I probably eat like 3 a day. You do the math. Is that 21 bags?
Hold on, y'all, don't ask no questions yet. I'm trying to put an order in. McDonald's.
Anthony Edwards has elevated his game each season and is playing his best ball in 2025. 27.6 points per game, 4.5 assists, and 5.7 rebounds is worthy of an all-star appearance, but Ant is truly a superstar come playoff time, breaking numerous franchise and league records and showing off why he's arguably the best shooting guard in the league. In the postseason, Ant posts averages of 27.6 points per game, 5.6 assists a game, and 1.4 steals and 0.9 blocks a game on 46.7% from the field and 38% from 3 on 8 attempts a game. That 27.6 points per game is not only the highest in T-Wolves history, but is the 5th highest among current players and is the 9th highest in playoff history. It's a higher playoff points per game than Stephen Curry, Nikola Jokic, Hakeem Olajuwon, Kobe Bryant, and Dirk Nowitzki. Kevin Garnett is rightfully revered as the greatest Timberwolf of all time, and we've yet to see someone since with the franchise that replicates his heart and dominance on all fronts. But when we look at the stats, Ant has KG beats in the playoffs in some key areas. Ant has the Timberwolves record for most 30-point games in the playoffs with 11 to Garnett's 7, and has shot 53% from the field, 45% from 3, 86% from the line, and has a 67% true shooting percentage across those 11 games. Ant has also set the record for most points scored by a Timberwolves player in a playoff game at 44, and already has 5 40 points playoff games at the age of 23. For some perspective, the only players in league history who have had 5 or more 40-point games at the age of 23 are Rick Barry and Luka Doncic. Before we continue, be sure to leave a like on the video, as that makes a massive difference to the channel, and also be sure to sub to the channel for even more content like this. Speaking about those 5 40-point games in the playoffs, all those performances jump off the page, not just because dropping that many points in a playoff game is absurd, but also because the circumstances and the opposition the T-Wolves faced at each occurrence. The first one came in 2023 when a 21-year-old Anthony Edwards had to try to do the unthinkable. Get a series win against the first-seeded future champions in the Denver Nuggets, who would glide through the playoffs off the backs of Nikola Jokic, who literally led every player in every major statistical category that playoffs, a perennial all-star riser in Jamal Murray, and nice fitting pieces in Aaron Gordon, KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Christian Brown, Bruce Brown, and Jeff Green. However, you already know that Ant revels in the opportunity to prove the doubters wrong. In Game 2 of that series, Ant dropped 41 points on 60% from the field and 60% from 3 in the high altitude of Denver, becoming the youngest player in NBA history to record 40 points on 5 or more made threes in a playoff game, and became just one of only 5 21-year-olds across NBA history to score 40 points in a playoff game. The next game, Ant would drop 36 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists in Minnesota, and became the second youngest player ever to score at least 35 points in consecutive playoff games. For the series, Ant would average 32 points, 5 rebounds and 5 assists on 48% from the field, 63% at the rim, 85% from the line on 8 attempts a game, and 50% on mid-range jumpers, besting all of his respective marks of the regular season. Despite the offensive load on his shoulders, his display in the series demonstrated how adaptable he is in given playoff scenarios and for the Timberwolves in general. Ant is a great leader on the floor who encourages his teammates and brings exactly what his team needs. If he needs to be over-aggressive, attack the rim, and create rim pressure on and on again to give his team the best chance to win, he'll do it. The Timberwolves don't have ample three-point shooting. Well, he'll just practice his off-ball movement and release across the offseason to not only increase his volume of attempts, but also increase his efficiency. He studied the film of Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard, and Klay Thompson over this past offseason, and ultimately started to adopt Damian Lillard's approach with astonishing results. In the regular season, he shot 10.3 three-pointers a game, nearly 4 more attempts per game than the 2024 season, while also shooting 39.5% from 3, 41% on catch-and-shoot threes, and also being the youngest player in NBA history to hit 300 threes in a season, while leading the entire NBA in three-pointers made this season. Moving on, Ant's second 40-point playoff game came against his idol Kevin Durant and a star-studded Phoenix Suns team that also had Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. There were people who had the Suns winning the series, given that their big three could punish the T-Wolves for running drop coverage, and the fact that the younger T-Wolves core lacked deep playoff experience. However, Ant put those discussions to bed real quick. In Game 1, Ant dropped 33 points and demonstrated a complete mastery of a game. He got anywhere he wanted to on the floor and extinguished the Suns with excellent footwork and what appeared to be automatic makes in the mid-range. The 40-point game came in Game 4, where the Suns were on the brink of elimination, and Ant made sure to end any hopes of an unfathomable comeback with 40 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Ant was lethal as a catch-and-shoot threat and pull-up shooter, shooting 7 for 13 from 3 in the game, while also threading the needle on the floor with mesmerizing displays of playmaking, was a go-to player in the fourth quarter with insane levels of shot making, scoring 16 points in the fourth quarter, had a demoralizing block on Devin Booker in that fourth, and sucked the gravity out of the building where he blew by Bradley Beal and detonated at the rim. Thank God Kevin Durant made this business decision. This victory wasn't only significant because he beat his favorite player growing up in Kevin Durant, but also because this was the T-Wolves' first playoff series win in 20 years. However, the crowning achievement of Anthony Edwards' career has been coming back from a 3-2 series deficit against the reigning champion Denver Nuggets in 2024, while also dropping 2 40-point games in that series. Michael Malone wasn't joking when he said that the T-Wolves wake up for this matchup more than any other because this was a completely wild series. The T-Wolves went on the road and won both games in Denver to start the series. The Denver stormed back and won both in Minnesota, and both teams were trading haymakers. In Game 6, Ant dropped 27 points in what was an absolute rout to phase off elimination, and while not having the greatest shooting night in Game 7, he was key defensively while pretty much being everywhere on the floor to help the Timberwolves overcome a 20-point deficit on the road to help them make their second conference finals in franchise history. With a recent 43-point explosion against the LA Lakers, where he looked like the best player in the series against LeBron James and Luka Doncic, many people already raising the question where Anthony Edwards ranks among the league's top players. Given that the playoffs are seen as the most pivotal point in one's career, and Ant is showing to be one of the best risers in the league, he's definitely in the conversation for the best shooting guard in the league, if he's not already the best shooting guard already. With that being said, be sure to comment down below your thoughts on Anthony Edwards, and also where he ranks among the NBA's best players. Is he, in your opinion, the best shooting guard in the league already over Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell? Or is he still have much to prove in order to prove that he's the best shooting guard in the league. Also, let me know what a championship this season would do for his career, and where that would also boost him in the all-time rankings at just the ripe age of 23. Be sure to check out my last video on foul baiting and how that's ruining the NBA, and be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Hope to see you all in the next one, and stay tuned.